I am so excited to use this, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to be using this book with my faith planner, as well as finishing the flip through of the faith planner that we started in part 1 of this series. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I'm leaving the link for you in the description down below so you can get caught up and then come back to this video. The next step, I just labeled it as reminder because these are things that I want to remind myself of. At the front of this section, I have my hope box, which is an idea that comes from Kay Warren, the wife of Pastor Rick Warren. And one of her strategies for dealing with the pain of the loss of her son and her battle with depression is to fill this hope box with thoughts about hope and verses about hope. So, inspired by this, I have written down a list of songs that I can listen to when I feel like I need hope. And then on the right side, I have quotes about hope and Bible verses about hope. I want to add more quotes and verses to this section this year, so I'm really going to need to be intentional about collecting those verses. So my strategy is to leave a sheet of paper out next to my Bible that's labeled Hope Box, and to write down the verses about hope as I'm reading through the Bible this year, so I don't forget to write them down. The next page includes truths to declare that come from a message by Pastor Craig Groeschel. He recommends declaring these on a regular basis, such as, Jesus is first in my life. I exist to serve and glorify Him. I am not a hostage to my thoughts or worries because Christ in me is stronger. I tend to be forgetful, so it's good for me to have reminders like these, reminders of God's truths, so I don't get off track. And then on the next page, I wanted to list out the faith-based books that I wanted to read this year. So you could put the books of the Bible if you printed out multiple sheets of this, but I actually want it to be more so books related to faith because I want to read more this year. This is actually a free printable that I'm giving away. I'll link the video where you can access this printable down below, but the printable has different versions. One of them says books to read, so I just added this sticker that says faith. I just wanted to show you that you can really customize it to make it work for any sort of category that you have. If you have any recommendations for me for books to read, please leave your recommendations in a comment down below. I would really appreciate it. And it could also help others out in this community. It's really helpful to get good recommendations. The next section is sermon notes. You can get access to this free printable, and I'll link the video for this down below if you want this free printable. I also have a ministries tab, and I'll link the video for this down below, as well as the video for these Bible verses. After that is my calendar section. I'm just going to leave these pages blank this year. Last year, I was trying to keep track of church events in here. I realized that it's easier if I just keep track of that all in my home catch-all planner. For the year at a glance, I'm going to be using it to track my daily Bible readings, which are assigned based upon this book, the Bible in 52 weeks. She has 6 days of reading, and then the 7th day you're supposed to catch up on anything that you fell behind on. So I have this listed out here. So Genesis 1 through 4 is day 1 for week 1, and then it spans to week 1, day 7, which is the catch-up day. So I printed all of this out onto some clear stickers, and my idea is that I'll plan out or add all the assigned readings on the last Saturday of the month, and also set up the next month all at the same time. And then each day as I complete the reading, I just check it off. I was going to start decorating this page, but then I decided I wanted to show you how I'm decorating it. So this is going to be for monthly Bible study questions. So in this book, she has a list of questions for a group study guide that she suggested that you answer every week. She also said you could just go through this book by yourself. So because of that, I decided to kind of slightly modify these questions where relevant and make them apply to answering them myself versus in a group setting. So for this, I'm using 2 pages, the currently page, and then I'm adding in this additional insert to have enough room for all of the questions and for my answers. It's actually one of my checklist items that on the 4th Sunday of the month to answer the January Bible study questions. The author's intention for these questions was that you answer them once a week in a group setting. I decided to modify these questions so that I can answer them once a month and instead of in a group setting, answer them by myself. So I'm going to be answering these questions on the 4th Sunday of the month. I am going to leave this side blank just in case I need more space to answer any of these questions, and I can also add in more sheets. After that is the monthly tab. In this book, in addition to the daily readings, the weekly Bible study reading, she also has actions for the week. So sometimes she has like 3 to 4 actions, and sometimes there's only 1 action. So I decided to kind of space it out in the monthly and work on each of the actions for the week, trying to do about 1 per day. For example, there are 3 actions for the week, so some of them I'm repeating the actions, but I'm making sure to complete all the actions for the week by the end of the week. And this was actually one of the reasons why I bought this book. I think it's so cool that she has action steps on here, like, for example, bring the person that you prayed for solace by sending a note of encouragement. She has you put a timeline in place to accomplish some of your goals one at a time based upon the goals that you prayed about earlier in the week, and then to share your goals and timeline with someone so they can keep you accountable. So you're really living out what it is that you're learning week to week as you read through the Bible. Another thing that I really like about this book, I like that she's not going in order. She starts in Genesis and then she goes through Exodus and then it skips to Matthew. That's something that has always been kind of hard for me when I'm reading through the Bible, is to try to read through the entire Old Testament. It's kind of overwhelming to me, so it's nice to be able to kind of jump to the New Testament, then jump back to the Old Testament. The last thing that I want to do is to show you an example of setting up next week in my planner. She has these points to ponder after you finish reading what she has written here for the week. And I decided that I wanted to use this section over here to answer these questions. Each week she has a different number of points to ponder. It's usually 2 or 3 questions, although there were 4 questions for the first week. This week, it's just going to be 2 questions, so I have a little bit more space for decorations. As you can see, I'm using a dashboard layout this year. In the past, I've tried the classic faith layout, which is based on the SOAP method, but the reason why I didn't choose the classic faith layout this year is because I seem to always run out of space for writing each day. And when I'm taking notes on my daily Bible reading, I prefer not to be limited in space. So now my notes are going to get written down on those blank sheets that I showed you under the Bible study tab. And the advantage of the dashboard over the horizontal layout for me is that it's divided into 2 pages. So I can keep my daily checklists on 1 page, and I can use the left page for a different category. Last year that was daily scripture writing, and this year it will be points to ponder from the Bible in 52 weeks. Now let's go over how to remember when to update my planner and what to update it with. This year I'm going to really rely on checklists that are not just generic checklists, but they're actually specific to certain days of the week or the month. These are my checklists. They tell me what to do each day during my quiet time. So Monday through Friday, I do my daily Bible reading. I know which chapters to read based upon this schedule in my year at a glance. I complete my action step for the day. and that is assigned here on the monthly. I fill out my daily gratitude and daily prayer, which is this page, and I have one sheet for each day, and I can fill out the front or the back. Then on Saturday, my quiet time also involves my weekly Bible study reading, and week 4 I will read this and this part, and then it says to answer the points to ponder questions, which I have listed here, and they're the same ones that are in the book. I just don't like writing in books. On the 4th Sunday of the month, I set up next month's reading plan, adding the checklist and the points to ponder questions to the weeklies, the monthly for next month, as well as the Bible study questions for that month. And then I answer the Bible study questions for the month. So this is my 2023 Faith Planner. I have more Faith Planner videos coming this year, so if you want to get notified every time I post a new video, make sure you sign up for my mailing list. I'll leave the link in the description down below, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye!
Oh, I feel so alive as I reach out,